New Week from Wisdom Yard Television. Happy New Week from News Review. Happy New Week from Ayomikun Alao. Happy New Week from Odelike Mufi Folua. Thank you very much for joining us today again. We actually said it last week, Friday, that until next time we meet, I'm living with a lot of love, joy, peace, and happiness. That does not mean that we are the one writing the wheel of our lives, but then God in His infinite mercy has counted us worthy among those that will be alive today. And we thank God Almighty, and I'm happy for our viewers too that actually joined us last week, and you are here again. It's only by the grace of God. So every minute you get, just always say, thank you, Lord, for the gift of life. And this is News Review. If you're just joining us, this is where we analyze several stories that has made it to several headlines of several newspapers. And today will not be an exception because we'll be analyzing and reviewing several stories. I have with me Odelike Mofi Folu, and she's also saying Happy New Week to you.
Happy New Week!
It's actually an amazing weekend, but then we had some stories that were not so pleasing, especially from the Nollywood, the Nollywood caucus of a thing. I don't know what exactly is happening of recent. From Saturday through Sunday till this morning, we're still hearing several deaths and all of that, and it's quite shocking, and we do not pray for such occurrence to continue in recent time. And so the most shocking of all is that of Murphy Afolabi. Is a Nollywood actor who passed on at the age of 49. He is known to be popular for participating in Yoruba movies. And then the death is actually a mystery to a lot of people, because a lot of people were still expecting that by evening they will say, oh, sorry, we're just joking, maybe it was a mistake, or maybe he fainted.
He was in coma.
Or something. But then it was actually, in the Muslim way, he's going to
be laid to rest this morning.
Okay, exactly. And then he was actually reported to have died from sleeping in the bathroom, and then that was the end of it. He sustained some injuries and getting to the hospital, but dead on arrival. That's actually a very sad one. Similarly, on Saturday we had Saint Obi, who's also known to be a Nollywood actor, who also passed on after some kind of illness, a prolonged kind of illness. And this morning again, Chidoki or something is also dead. Same on Sunday too. This Techno Sound, they call him Techno Sound popularly, but he's the oldest crew member in this Yoruba movie industry. He also died that Sunday. So a lot of it like that. I pray that God in His infinite mercy would actually look into all of these things and pardon if there is a sin or something. Pardon people in the Nollywood caucus, and also make sure that those that have died, they continue to rest in perfect peace by the grace of God. And moving on our weekend recap, we have police detain Seun Kuti in Lagos. So yesterday, a particular video was going viral on social media where Seun Kuti, who is known to be a son to Fela Kuti, who was seen, slapping a police officer. And he was in the video. Of course, nobody knows what was going on, but then he was seen exchanging words, bans with the police officer, who looks like he was unarmed and all of that. But then Seun Kuti slapped him, and a lot of people felt like that was actually very wrong to be done. So this morning we got to know that he reported himself as promised, to the police officers, and at the point of doing that, he was chained to be, it was, did I say change? He was called, exactly, he's been detained and all of that. So let me have Mofi follow up.
The story behind Seun Kuti's case, when the video actually went viral, lots of people were saying, why would he slap a police officer, regardless of whatever the offense the man must have done? Exactly. He's on duty and it is against, human rights. If it was a police officer slapping a normal citizen, everybody would be screaming and ranting. Exactly. But Seun Kuti actually came out to say the police officer in the scene actually attempted to kill him and his family. Wow. So the process of, okay, I don't know what ensued between them. Maybe you bring out your particulars. If you don't bring it out, I'll shoot you. We don't know what happened. But the process of him slapping the police officer was what we got online. Exactly. And of course, that's what everybody would want to talk about. And according to the news and the whole story, even Seun was saying that people should mind their own businesses. Like, okay, fine, I've slapped him, and we both know what happened between us, and we settled it.
Okay.
He actually did this and that, and I wanted to take it up against him, but he already apologized. If I should take this case up against this person, he might actually lose his job. But we don't want to hear the fact that you are slapping a police officer was what went viral, and until, if not that the video went viral, we wouldn't have heard
anything, of course.
The case would have gone down.
Sure.
But now that they've gone to court, he's been detained, and Femi Falana, they like let me say the ogbonge senior advocate of Nigeria, like when you hear Femi Falana, you know that yes, this case is not a beans. He already agreed to, defend him in court, and we are still waiting on what happens. Exactly. And of course, I don't think he should be detained for more than 24 hours. Apparently. When he is detained for more than 24 hours, then
he actually went there with his lawyer, so I want to believe. And this is just me saying again, I get the fact that Nigerian police force could actually, at a point, do some things, but then no one is given the order according to the rule of law, conduct, and all of that. Nobody is given the power or the right to touch or to assault any officer, whether police, whether custom, whether road safety, whether FRSC, whatever, that is on uniform. For the fact that they are on uniform at that moment, they are way above you. So, and that is like you are slapping the law.
Similarly, there is no officer of the law that is supposed to assault a citizen. I mean, it is just against it. You are not supposed to. If you find a citizen offending you, or the citizen has actually done something wrong, of course that's why we have the law in the first place.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be seen assaulting one another. Let me just put it that way. Citizens to officers, or people should not assault one another. That's actually the basic thing to do.
Ishaku denies 2 billion naira take-home vehicles. Opposition kicks.
Sincerely speaking, when we read in the news, I think last week, that the governor, he was saying that he already approved about 2 billion. Actually, it was a particular newspaper that published it out. Okay. And according to their own news, they were saying that they got the source from an internal source. Okay. They got the information from an internal source. So I want to believe that it was actually genuine. So that it was, as at the time of filing that report, it was about 18 or 17 days to him leaving the office as a governor. And then, he already approved 2 billion naira to buy luxury car, exotic cars for himself, his wife, and his deputy. Fine, as an outgoing governor, you have access to all of these things. Nobody is saying no. But are you checking the state of the state, the financial state of the state you are living? If you remove 2 billion naira from the state accounts, what will be left? The same state, they will be shouting in Taraba, they will be saying we still have a lot of infrastructure to be made, and all of this. But then his spokesperson now came out to say, it's a lie, my governor did not at any point in time say he wants to use 2 billion naira to acquire all of these things. And of course, you trust the opposition parties. You're like, no, it's not supposed to be that way. It's just being insensitive and all of those things. So that's just the storyline. But personally, I believe that as an individual, now let's say the news did not get out, because I want to believe that it was actually genuine. Let's say the news did not get out, that's how it would have gone and went away.
And to me, I feel that out of nonsense, there is sure a sense. If this is false, then there is a part of it that is true. Okay. It's either 2 billion naira was rightly removed from the purse of the state, but the purpose not stated.
They've not actually, it's just like proposing to, okay, I want to remove 2 billion naira for this purpose. Okay,
maybe 2 billion naira has been said to be, of course, you don't expect him to come and say, oh, that's true. I actually said that I want to buy cars. He would even be attacked. So it's possible that the news is true. But then you see all this outgoing executives, let me put it that way, they are actually doing the most. Recently, the Credit Bureau actually said that they are coming out to make sure that all the people that are re-elected and the ones that are just coming in, make sure that they tell us everything they've had or they still have, or not before May 29. Just to make sure that there are check and balances. Transparency. And now we have this one saying that they want to have some money in order to buy some luxurious products. So how are we even supposed to know if he had bought it and he bought it in some people's name? would not know about it.
Exactly.
He would only come out to say, okay, fine, these are what I brought in, and this is what I'm going out with. So you see, all of these things, of course, the fact that they said that there was a source, internal source, I want to believe that, of course, there is a truth to this story.
Sincerely speaking, I don't see anything wrong in an outgoing governor trying to acquire some things for himself. At least, what if he had actually gotten those things before he was going to leave the office?
Okay.
But the thing is, getting so much, you can get cars that are not as expensive as that. Yeah, the state still needs a lot of. That's why you find these people getting a lot of money for themselves, and the state will just be there. They will be acquiring the wealth to themselves alone. And in the state, you find people, the poor, people sleeping under the bridge. A lot of things are going on without anything being done to it. So that's why people are actually fighting for that. Even if you won't buy a car, at least a reasonable amount is actually enough. Nobody is saying you shouldn't buy cars for yourself. Of course, you've worked for 8 years, you've done a lot of things in the States, you're supposed to also enjoy. That's if you've not embezzled money before. Even if you now want to embezzle money, embezzle with sense. That's what
I think that's another side, embezzle with sense. Don't even embezzle at all.
Exactly.
Cookathon, Nigerian chef Hilda Bassi sets new Guinness record for marathon cooking. Nigerian chef Hilda Bassi, popularly known as Hilda Bassi, has surpassed the current Guinness World Record. This is actually a very good news, and I got myself, I don't know, I was so glued.
I feel proud.
I was so good to Instagram all through yesterday. I was like, what's going to happen? Like, it's not now about the fact that whether she wants to break the record or not. I was just about her mental health, the stress, everything. Like, I really want her to, when she got to 88 hours, I was just like, thank God. Because 88 hours has already surpassed. What we had before was 87, 45.
Okay,
45. 87 hours, 45 minutes, 00. And she reached 88. That's already like, she has surpassed. So she has already made it. And that's actually a very good one. A big one for Nigeria. She has actually placed Nigeria in a spot whereby the whole world is almost in standstill. I was checking out for news this morning, and I was like, okay, I need to review news this morning. Every news I got was Hilda. I was like, Kai, stop it. Which one do we not? Is it like nothing happened? What happened to the government?
Are
they also rooting for Hilda?
That's the power. Let me tell you the basic things I've learned with in Hilda's case. Number one, the power of consistency. She said she's been planning for this for years.
5 years.
For 5 years. So I'm sure during her journey, her preparation journey, she must have encountered a lot of heartbreaks. I'm not talking about relationship heartbreaks. A lot of please, this is my proposal. I want to do something. They'll be like, okay, I'll get back to you. Some people say, I don't believe in you. So even if people don't believe in you, my love, believe in yourself.
100.
Because that's what will actually keep you going. And then when you set goals for yourself, make sure that even if the goal seems unrealistic, still work towards it. Exactly. When people see that you're working towards your goal, they would cheer you up. You'd find people. Imagine she's been planning here. What if she just feels like, well, I'm not doing it again. Everyone that is rooting for her, because I'm also rooting for her. Of course, she has already broken the record, but she wants to set a new one.
Record.
Everyone that has been rooting for her, there will be nowhere to be found because there will be no Hilda in the first place. Fine. She was actually doing fine before this whole breaking Guinness Book of Records. She has her restaurant. She's doing very, very well. But we shouldn't even settle for less. I'm not saying what she had is actually less, but she feels like I can do more.
Better.
I can do better. That's just the whole
when they say that the sky is your starting point. Before people would have said the sky is your limit. Stop it. When I get to the sky, that's when I'm just
getting started.
And Hilda actually started off the cooking. She turned on the gas 4 p.m. Thursday, May 11, and by 4 p.m. May 15, which is today, I'm hoping that the whole
so we have just 2 hours to go.
Exactly, we'll be rounding up.
So much.
And then she actually had a whole lot cooking. As at the time of filing this report, she has cooked over 115 dishes and fed over 3,000 people for free. She has several sponsors, and we have the likes of sponsors of which I can't really mention them. and they are the ones that are. We should thank them. We should thank the people that are staying out there, rain, sun, night, morning, evening.
People in the rain last night.
It was heartbreaking.
It was emotional.
Is it heartbreaking or heartwarming?
Like seriously, I felt like I should have been there, but then I have to come and do news reviews.
Exactly. I just feel like whatever it is you feel like it's worth doing at all, then it is worth doing well, even though it might seem like the world is against you, things are not working the way it's supposed to work, or you feel like you don't even have the strength to continue. My love, I feel you should just have it at the back of your mind that if Hilda could have done it, if several people that have made their name to the Guinness Book of Record could have done it, and of course I can do it. Don't allow anything to be a limitation. When they say, why are you not here? Say, because I don't have a good phone. Why are you not here? Because I don't have a good clothes. Babe, you can actually do it without all those things. Whatever limitation, make limitation to be the one that you will use as the one to get to your victory. And I believe that if you set our mind to do things, we will surely achieve it.
And then the people around you should be very, very careful. When you discuss with them, they are not the set of people that will say, well, you can't, just stop it. I'm sorry to, I remember when I was in the university, I wanted to go for a particular debate competition for my department. But because I'm this kind of very gentle, people that hear me talk, they'll be like, she was not looking, sorry. I'm always very, very calm. I don't talk because I have my own set of people. And then I wanted to go for the competition. Then this person came to me feeling, don't go and disgrace our department. So you cannot do this thing, no. Don't. And that was just what I needed to push for that, because I felt like, no, I would surprise. And of course, I did well. At least I did well. So that's just it. People around you. Don't keep negative people around you. That's my submission.
Thank you. Prisoners feeding. State falls. Federal government seek new revenue formula. If you should recall that last week we spoke about the fact that the federal government says that from 2024, the state will be the sole responsibility of feeding every inmate and also their accommodation. And during our review last week, I said it specifically, yes, that the state has a lot on their hands, and the state already has a lot of things they are doing that they are unable to achieve, the projects and all of those things. And bringing the federal government, bringing inmates too. And if you should look at the 2023 budget, it's not like each state does not have the expenditure for, what's it called now, for the inmates part of it.
Of course.
So it has always been the sole responsibility of the federal government. But the federal government came out to say that, okay, they've been spending a lot, and if you should look at it from the statistics, they have a lot of inmates in them. And most of them are those that are still awaiting trial. And we have the rest of them that they are already convicts. So these people spend a lot of money. They use over 24 billion naira, according to them, to feed the inmates. So they felt like the federal government cannot continue to cushion this, and because most of these inmates are for the state, they were actually judged by the state court, to be taken to those.
Now, when we were discussing the whole thing last week, one question I was asking is, where do you expect this state government to get money from? Because even sometimes when they execute some projects in the state, they will still write to the federal government for a refund.
Exactly.
And federal government is saying that it's not like you guys have plans for them. It's not like they're saying, okay, for every year, for every allocation, every budget for each state, for if you have, let's say, like 3 correctional centers, for each correctional center will give you 1 billion naira to cater for them.
Exactly.
That's not what you're saying. So the states, the allocations for each state, they are not even enough yet to settle the basic things they have. Not talk of adding this is not a prior. It's not like a prior discussion with the state government. The state governors now to say, okay, this is what we want to do. So you just went to a particular event and we are announcing, can you come?
I think Buhari actually spoke on that. It was like the states are not aware yet, and all that, so it will kickstart from 2024. But regardless, I don't think I
feel like it wouldn't be a problem if the federal government is ready to increase their budget, is ready to increase the allocation they give to each state. It wouldn't become a problem by then. But if they still want them to continue with the revenue they have, the amount of money they give them per year to run the state, then it's not going to work. What do you expect them to get the money from? Would they release the
I think the federal government should do a review on that. Apparently, from the news, several states, Gombe, Osun, Ogun State, and several other states actually complained and gave their reasons for not, for feeling like they are not culpable enough to go for that. And they actually said that until the amendment of the constitution is done, then they can actually talk about this. So I feel the federal government should just look into it and get the right thing in check. Before we continue on the show, we'd like to go on a short commercial break because this show is proudly sponsored by Nokwa Herbals. Until then, please stay tuned.
Sweetheart. I can't afford to be late for this meeting.
Gave me the same excuse every day.
I always tell you the truth every. You know I will never disappoint you.
Everyone needs a hero like Nokpa.
After Nokpa,
It is always Napa.
Nokpa for management of power.
You're welcome back, and this is News Review brought to you by Uzamia Television, proudly sponsored by Nokpa Herbals. And we'll be rounding off with a story that reads why I rejected Tinubu to visit me or to even give a call, and this coming from Bode George. If you should recall that during the old presidential election, Bode George is seen to be an ardent opposition of Tinubu, the president-elect. And at a point, he even said that if Tinubu should become the president, he will be leaving the country. Do you remember?
I remember.
Himself and one.
He will go to Ghana.
He will go to, exactly, that he will leave the country. So a former deputy national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Olabode George, has confirmed that he did have a meeting with the APC. So after the whole thing, a lot of people already felt like Bode George is an enemy of Tinubu and the APC and all of that. But then they had a closed door meeting. He had a closed door meeting with the APC executives and some other people. Without Tinubu. But then everybody added that it's APC. So everybody was like, Bode George met with APC. So then he came out to say that, okay, fine, let me clarify what you all did not understand. Which is fine. The person that called for the meeting was the retired Justice Ishola Olorunmibe. I think I'm calling the name very wrong. Olorunmibe. So Mimbe.
Olorunmibe.
Okay, Olorunmibe. So he actually said that was the person that called on the meeting, and of course, according to being a Yoruba man that respects, value the culture and the heritage, he would sure not be able to say no to such a respected figure.
94-year-old.
Exactly. Man. So he said that he decided to honor the request, to meet up, and then they came to his place and all of that. They had meeting, and the whole meeting was not about Tinubu, though they only asked that, okay, fine, we want you to forgive us of all of our excesses of the past one, and also we want you to at least reach out to Tinubu. He's already the president-elect, so you should at least maybe give a call or shout out or maybe visit, so that people would, so that at least support his administration. You are a public figure, and of course you're a figure to be reckoned with, and we really need, it's not like we really, but then we need you to at least support the administration for a smooth running. And he replied them that, of course, I don't have any issue with you guys. I'm forgiving you of all your excesses, but then you don't expect me to give any call to Tinubu. Fine, I don't have any issue with him either, but then I am still having my own party, which is PDP, still having their case in court. So me calling Tinubu or just visiting him would raise a lot of problem, of which I don't want that. So let's see what happens after the tribunal, after the old court case. Then I would now think if I would go out to call Tinubu or embrace him. But right now, I'm still standing on my notion that I would not put a call through, neither visit Tinubu. But then we did not mention anything about whether he's relocating anytime soon. But May 29 is almost.
I was even very surprised when I saw something looking like Bode George visited Tinubu, okay, or Bode George met Tinubu.
A lot of reporters will come with their own story.
They actually did not meet. He met with, like Arimiko rightly explained. But my own point, what I'm just going to say about this whole thing is, he has actually, see, it will be very, very heartbreaking for me if Bode just meets with Tinubu without the court's verdict. Because what message are you passing? Are you trying to say that you already boycotted your party or what? Don't be like some people that I don't want to start mentioning their names right now. So basically, I think the right thing to do is just everyone should wait until the court cases are over. By then, at least of course, even if after the whole court case and the court still declares Tinubu as the original owner of the presidential seat, you find the likes of Atiku, the likes of Obi, all of them that has suits against him in the court, they will come out to congratulate him, which is a normal thing. Until Baba congratulates but the right thing for them they would all do is congratulate him. So let's wait until then. If APC is asking Bodejo to come and meet up with Kilove Mambaso, okay, like Tinubu, I'm sorry for being against you. No. Let us wait. If the court case lingers to forever, let us wait forever.
I actually said that was the last news, but then I think I got this one. Nigeria imports 2.7 trillion naira sugar as government master plan stalls. Despite committing over 170 billion naira to boosting self-sufficiency in sugar production, Nigeria spent about 2.7 trillion naira on raw sugar imports during the decade-long period of the National Sugar Master Plan. The National Sugar Master Plan is actually the one that has its origin from 2008, where the federal government actually made a directive that the National Sugar Development Council should develop a kind of roadmap for the sugar attainment of self-sufficiency in sugar within the shortest period. But right now, the plan in itself is looking like it's failed. That was a master plan that is looking like it's failed. And then the plan actually estimated that our demand for sugar would reach the 1.7 million metric tons mark by 2020, but then it's not looking like it. We know that the largest sugar exporting country is Brazil, and Nigeria imports from Brazil on a yearly basis. But my problem with all this thing is that, fine, we cannot match up with Brazil when it comes to the world, those that have this sugar, but then we have, there's a way we can maximize our production. We have up to 5 states in Nigeria where we can produce sugar, that has sugar cane and several other products that we can use in the production of sugar. Of course, it's the sugar cane that is the raw material for the sugar production. They refine it, all of them. We have over, at least, if I don't know of any, I still know of 3 sugar producing companies in Nigeria. And of course, these people have their skills, they have the prerequisites, they have everything that is needed, to be able to produce sugar. Why do we still need to be importing sugar of all things in the world? Fine, they made plans. I don't know the reason this plan is failing. That's why I said that Nigeria has not been focusing on what they are supposed to focus on. Things they are supposed to maximize on. Since we have the sugar cane is something we can produce, why can't we maximize that? If we've been producing maybe 100, we can produce 10,000.
How will they have their own gain now?
That's what I'm saying. So instead of us now having to cry about us using a whopping sum of 2.7 trillion naira on sugar.
See, we've identified the problem and we've identified the solution.
But why is it that they are not taking to this? It's not like this today that they knew about the solution.
Okay, the problem is these people they wouldn't, if we said we should maximize sugar production in Nigeria, their gains will be limited. Now the problem, we just keep shouting that Nigeria is in debt. Imagine sugar lesson. Fine, a lot of people might actually be consuming sugar, but sugar is not supposed to be one of the commodities that will cut away lots of money. And there's a way we can go about these things, but that is it. No one is going to focus on sugar. Nobody would even believe the fact that sugar is making the federal government spend a lot of money. That's where they used to embezzle money. The things nobody any focus say they might come up to say slippers, veteran slippers is costing the country billions of naira to import. That's their own strategy. You just find that in petroleum they can give an explicit how do I put it now? Calculation of okay, we did this, and people like what about the sugar? What about air dye? A lot of things that we will not even look into. That's where the problem is. And of course, I say it every time, and I'm still going to be saying it with my full chest. if these politicians, or let me say these officials, if they are not going to gain anything from it, then they are not going to do it. So whatever they are focusing on, just know that they are getting something from it. That's
But I would always say this thing, and the fact that God has blessed Nigeria with a lot of things. He blessed us with skills, He's blessed us with human resources, He's blessed us with natural resources. But we should now, He also blessed us with brain. I mean sense. Intelligence, whereby we can utilize all of these natural products and make them useful to be able to generate income. But then why is it that we are just deciding to not focus on all of these things? Recently, I was saying that I'm very happy that Dangote was able to complete his refinery, and by May 22, we'll be launching it, and at least I was saying that it would bring about ease to the country. But then Nigerians that I know, or the Nigerian politician, Nigerian leader that I know, would still in a way find a way to make us suffer with the fact that we have a refinery in the country. Exactly. Nigeria has raw products, we have crude oil, and we still have to take this crude oil out of Nigeria to refine and then import it again, and with that it is making us Nigerians to suffer. They remove subsidy at enormous price, and it is something that is wrecking Nigeria. We are having over 80 trillion naira debt profile, and our president is still writing out for $800 million loan again. And you see several other things like that, that accumulate together, that you just feel like, why is this happening this way? Yeah. Nigeria has several things that could have been done, be maximized to bring about profit. Look at cocoa. Cocoa used to be, when you see people with cocoa farm, they used to be
a source of wealth.
A source of wealth. You see cocoa farmers being the babalaye, the chief, and all of that. But then all of a sudden, the old cocoa farm and everything went down the drain, and there was nothing to even say about that. Everything. You see, when we look at it, when we look at leather and all of those things, we have it. It's something we
just tell me one thing we don't
have. So God has given us everything, but then we don't know how to maximize our resources, to be able to maximize profit. And I'm looking forward to Nigeria being a better place, and our Nigerian leaders, looking into all this thing, look into our natural resources, find a way whereby we can make use of all these natural resources. Don't focus alone on crude oil. There are several other things we are blessed with. There is palm kernel, there is cassava, there is but then I'm looking forward to a better Nigeria, and we can do that not only with the leaders, I would rightly say individuals too. We have a lot of things to be done to make Nigeria a better place, to be a better place to live in. Any other thing?
I'm just going to say that may God help us in Nigeria. May God put the love of the citizens into our politicians, man, because if they don't know us, they cannot do anything, regardless of how much they rant and bant and do anything. So whatever they want to do, they will still do. And for individuals, when you get there, don't go with the mindset of, let me take my share of the national cake. It's not supposed to be so. Please let us just be very, very careful. And I am still celebrating Hilda. You don't go.
You don't even say that. You don't know they break.
You don't know they break.
So on that note, I will now say that instead of calling her Hilda, why don't you call her Haidon? Or Hildon?
We are waiting for it's almost 3 p.m.
Exactly.
Of course, she has less than 2 hours. We are waiting till 4 p.m. and whatever it is. Of course, she has done well, and she will complete the task on a very good note.
By the grace of God. And until next time we'll be doing this, I remain Ayomiko Alao, doing this movie follower or Delike.